This is a tease right here. Small clip. Well, we'll see it later. But three big things. First of all, we got Nobody. Just came out. Bob Odenkirk. John Wick ripoff, is it? I'll tell you which it is. If it's... Anyway. Stray, documentary about dogs in Turkey. It literally is a documentary like it. I don't know if it's a person that was following these dogs or a machine, but it's literally from their perspective for an hour and a half. Good stuff. Third, I went to go see a Q&A for a movie that just released, Like a House on Fire, which is very tiny, like almost 50 people in the world have seen this film, and it was a Q&A with the director. I want to tell you about that experience. And finally, The Promised Neverland, very important, just finished it, season 2. The big reason why this is special is that the hate for it is insane, okay? It just finished. I literally finished the last episode myself 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes, so it's extremely fresh off my mind. I will tell you quick thoughts. I will have to go light into spoilers, but that's at the very end, so you don't have to worry until we get there. But I just want to show you the hate. This is the finale of season 2, 2.9 out of 10. I have never seen this before. It is crazy, but as you can see, I gave it a 9. So if you hate this and you want to hear more of that, you will not get that here. I will actually gush about this season and this show. So let's start with the big one, which is Nobody, baby. Fantastic. Like John Wick in similar terms, and what makes it incredible, which by the way, where the reviews came out, I was blown away because I'm like, the expectations were low for this one. People did not expect this film to be great, especially because it's in theaters, and you know, anytime you go to a theater, it's a risk. But I'm here to tell you without hesitation that it is worth the risk, and I am not kidding about this. I gave it a solid 9 out of 10, which if you've seen my recent videos where I talk about the Oscar Best Picture nominees, 9 is what I've given to most of them. Meaning, this is as good as any of them. It's a fantastic action film, a fantastic comedy as well. It has like some very dark humor to it. And it's a classic revenge thriller in the same vein as Death Sentence from the Saw director, which is James Wan, I think, Aquaman and Fast and Furious. Anyway, Death Sentence, highly recommend it. Harry Brown with, what's his name? McCain? Michael Caine. I got those two mixed up. Been eating some fries recently. So, you know what I mean? It's one of those films. Same thing with John Wick, I guess. And I think there's a competition going on with stunt people recently. I think it's because of The Raid, which came out from Indonesia, from a English or American director, but still made in those countries. And those films are known for having the best action, period, right now. So if you want the best action movie for its action / martial arts, The Raid 1 and 2 are it. So I'm guessing, you know what I mean, John Wick is a, like, let's show them that we've been the kings all along. And Nobody is a perfect example of this, where the action scenes are surprisingly incredible. Like I was blown away by him, and I had some good laughs. So again, I cannot recommend it enough. I'm not saying anything about the plot or anything like that, because it's best you go in blind. So that's Nobody, highly recommended. Man, it's crazy because I'm seeing Godzilla vs. King Kong this Wednesday, which I will cover in a few days. So it's always hard to say this is worth the risk, and I'll tell you after Godzilla vs. King Kong, because between those two films, if you only can pick one, which I'll tell you which one. Stray. Again, documentary, Turkey. I wanted to give it a 9 just because of its specialness. This movie is truly special because there is nothing like it ever. There probably never will be. You can't do this with cats because cats are too fast and agile, so they escape easily. So dogs are easier to follow. So the thing that makes this movie special, like I said, it is following dogs the whole time. And in Turkey, it is illegal to capture and or do anything with the free dogs, the errant dogs, meaning there's a bunch of free dogs all over the place. It's like part of the city, and I believe this is in no, I don't know which city it is, but it's a big city. It's my favorite clip, which I'll show at the end actually. But just to show you here, this is what I mean. They are fully ingrained into the city life, where like, look at this, like literally in the middle of traffic, he doesn't care. The cars just like go around it just a little bit. He's not in the way, but come on. It's like crazy dangerous. So yeah, if you don't like this shot, this doesn't like, there's no story. But what's crazy is that you do learn a lot about Turkey and the situation in that country because of this. which makes for some fascinating documentary style footage. You know what I mean? Like, you're following the dog, it's filming the dog, but you can hear the conversations. One, they do have refugees that are like in their teens. I'm talking 12 to 15, and there's like a bunch of them, and they literally like inhale glue, and they're a recurring character in the movie because the dogs go back to them a lot. And these kids have nothing, man. They're sleeping in the streets. You got a scene in a demonstration for like women's rights. Whole people screaming and everything, seeing the dog in the middle of that. It's interesting stuff. So if you're interested in Turkey, you want to see a perspective of a dog completely free in the city, but also completely homeless, if you will, then this one I highly recommend. And let me put sound on this clip here. Give me a sec. The volume. Because this is my favorite scene in the movie, and it's so small, it's so subtle, and really it's easy to not care or notice why it's special. Okay, first of all, the dog is eating a bone. Somebody gave him a bone, so as you can see, he's eating a fresh meat bone. So here we go. Baby's coming. Baby sees the dog. Cal, pump it up, okay? She's pointing. Sec. She's pointing like, oh! Dad! Stop! You know what I mean? Because to that baby's mind, he is mind blown by what he's seeing. First of all, like, he's seen dogs, but he's probably never seen a dog chomp on fresh flesh like that. The baby might not have seen fresh flesh like that, like meat off the bone, you know what I mean? So to him, this is crazy. This is a dog eating flesh. To us, it's normal. But to that baby, that might be the first time we've seen it. So he's like screaming and pointing as hard as a baby possibly can. Because it's the first time in history he's ever seen something like that. To me, it's interesting. So we can never take for granted that anything a baby or small child sees, whether it be somebody drumming in the park or anything unique that we're used to them, it's a first time. To them, it blows their mind. So I love this small clip. So that's Stray, baby. Highly recommended. 8 out of 10. Real quick, like A House on Fire. Good drama. It's like small actors, small director trying to, it's like their big coming out party. I gave it a solid 7 because of the ending only. But if you can see here, 8.3, which is insane. But it's only because 14 people on the entire planet has chosen to score this film here, which is insane. Like, you don't get, it'll change in a few days, but still, I'm number 14. You know what I mean? So yeah, the first ever showing with the director, Q&A at the end. It's about postpartum depression. So it's about a mother who's trying to reconnect with her child who is like 3 maybe, and she hasn't been part of her life. So she's like coming back in, and it's following her struggle to do that whilst also being slightly unstable and also homeless, if you will. So it's it's good, but it's extremely slow pace, and it's it's very hard to recommend. Only watch it if you're interested in postpartum depression, and if you are a mother, I guess, and are worried about it. That would be the only way I could recommend this one. To be honest, like, I would have given it a 5, but then the ending was incredible, and the ending really got me. And at the Q&A, by the way, this was a packed theater. This was the most packed theater I've ever been to so far. And give me a sec here. Let me put this in the background because I just got to do a quick story time. Be real quick, I promise. Yeah, Q&A. Nobody's asking questions. And I'm there for the Q&A. I'm there for the event, or else I would not have seen this film. I was there for the event. So was a lot of people. This room was so packed. There was like in front of me and in back of me, people with masks. Everybody's wearing masks, but still, it was really too close for comfort. And at the end of the movie, nobody's asking questions. It's really sad because the host is like, so if anybody has questions, and there's like an awkward silence in a lit room full of people with masks, nobody's talking. One person asked a question about cinematography, nothing crazy. And I had to say something because, again, the ending got me, right? So if you're a director and you make a movie and you show it to the people for the first time and nobody has anything to say, like, it feels harsh, man. It feels hard. And I was planning to say this, but of course you do not want to be the first. But I had to be the last because she was like, okay, we'll take one final question, even though there hasn't been any. So I'm like, dude, you did it. Tremendous job. Tremendous ending. Great job. And then I asked a question about like bipolar and whatever. But still, I had to let him know. And it was worth an event. Like, it's the first time I've ever seen a movie with a Q&A with the director which I can't believe. It must be extremely rare, you know. It's only because it's a small film, and he's from here probably. So yeah, if you ever see those types of events and the movie you're slightly interested in it, I highly recommend it, because it is an experience and it is worth doing, and it is something special to have the artist who's worked years on something right in front of you presenting it, you know what I mean? Getting judged, right? So I had to let him know, man. I had to give him at least something so he can sleep happy tonight. So yeah, that's like a house on fire. Not much about the movie, but yeah, the Q&A after. And this is it. Okay, Promised Neverland. By the way, I'm seeing Red Turtle tomorrow. Just a quick preview. Ghibli movies, I've seen most of them, more than most. And people love Ghibli movies. People love Studio Ghibli. They put it on the pedestal. And let me be real frank with you right here. If Ghibli Studio was equally judged as all the others, as DreamWorks, Disney, Pixar, they would not be in the top 5. Actually, they might be number 5, but because of their masterpieces are the exception, right? They have a bunch of they have a few amazing films. They have a few great ones, but they have a lot of good, alright ones, you know what I mean? So that's the problem when it comes to, you know, their whole catalog. And Red Turtle is not really them, it's presented by them, but it's like co-produced. But regardless, I have not seen this one. Pretty pumped about it. So that's tomorrow. Again, a special showing, baby. I might meet somebody. I'll keep you posted. I'm sure as hell gonna try. Because if anybody is signing up to go see the Red Turtle in a cinema, dude, that's somebody I want to know. And there's a room packed. I was lucky I got like one of the last tickets, so I'm literally in the front row, so I gotta like look up the whole time, but it'll be worth it. Okay, so without further ado, we're going into Promised Neverland Season 2. Max spoilers. Not max spoilers, sorry. Light spoilers. You'll know what it's about and you'll know my feelings on the finale, but I will not reveal any plot points. You will just get my unbridled emotions, since literally I finished it 20 minutes ago. But if you have not watched Promised Neverland, I'm telling you right here, right now, you should watch it. It's truly worth watching. I know I showed you a 2.8 score, but the highs are worth it. And in my opinion, it is incredible. I give the show a 10 out of 10. And overall, Season 2 is not as good as Season 1, but I still give Season 2 a 10. I really do. So, yeah. That's all I'll say for non-spoilers. Like, you should leave if you don't know what this is. Okay, let's go. Season 2. So, of course, they had a huge gamble on their hands. There's something I wanted to play during this. Okay, 3 things you need to know. This is extremely important. First of all, I do not read manga. I did not read this manga. I do not read manga in general. I watch a lot of anime because they are adaptations of manga. So it's like, you know what I mean? And I think the most of the hate comes from the people that read the manga. Not all, but most. And I'll explain the others. Second of all, Steven Universe is my favorite TV show of all time. That's the art right up here. I got a sticker right behind me. Top tier, top tier. Okay, to me, Steven is better than Avatar. It's better than any drama, anime, or anything. Okay? And Anna, the main character from Promised Neverland, is straight up Steven. It's pretty crazy. The similarities, not only between the characters, but some of the story elements. Especially the ideas behind hope, you know what I mean? So yeah, so you need to know where I'm coming from. And by the way, like, if you haven't seen it, that's my biggest recommendation. And yes, I know saying it's better than Avatar is fighting words, but it has more episodes, and it did something Avatar can never dream to do, and that is to do an epilogue that no other show does, period. It's crazy. And so yeah, that's where I'm coming from, okay? I'm coming from a place of love, of deep love. So, because this anime is the most high-stakes anime there is, because again, we're dealing with kids in a world that is deadly not only to kids, but to everybody. It's pretty insane how dark and bleak this world really is. It's one of the bleakest in all of anime. And the Season 2 was all about exploring that world. Season 1 was a concentration camp. Season 2 is occupied territory. It is every day. You could be attacked from all sides, from a bunch of different things, while Season 1 was all about an escape, right? Which means every episode has new reveals and new world building that is incredibly hard to achieve, because we're judging it more because of how much we care. Like, it has to make sense, but it also has to keep the stakes high. You know what I mean? If a kid dies, that kid has to stay dead. And don't worry, we will talk spoilers either tomorrow or after tomorrow. I will go into every single episode. I will go into all of the reveals. But right here, Off Emotion, Season 2 is a 10 out of 10. They delivered every episode on the promise of the excitement of what is next. Okay, so 8, 9, I got 6 9 out of 10s, 4 8s, 2 10s. Okay, the last episode would have been a 10. The only reason it isn't was because of confusion. Most people was anger because what they did, and this is where we're going to slightly bigger spoilers here, but what they did, I believe, is they skipped, 50 chapters. I had to look up 5 minutes after I watched it because there was confusion. Even after the emotion was so strong that to me it was an undeniable 10. But then I saw the hate and I had to understand the confusion I had about the absolute ending. So yeah, they're skipping ahead like 50 chapters, which sounds insane to me. But from what I'm hearing, it's like we can't judge. And my confusion stemmed from, is this a series finale? Because if so, you shouldn't have teased stuff, but they tease stuff, so that means there's more things to come. So that was my confusion, and that frustrated me. But it only frustrated me because I did not know if this ending, which again, to me, was perfect. I wouldn't have given it a 10 if it wasn't. Which is, again, goes back to Steven Universe, because it's exactly that type of ending. People that call it weak are literally don't get the point, because it's literally the opposite. It's a message we need right now, and like, this is not a shonen anime. This is not action. This is survival. This is these people that we love. We just want them to be happy. There's no war. Also, I'm watching this back to back with Attack on Titan. It's crazy, one after the other. Sorry, I forgot the BBC footage. Which, by the way, this we will retire soon. Once I finish talking about the show, which is only 3 episodes, this will go away. That's why I'm milking it as much as I can. So yeah, 1 episode of Attack on Titan, one episode of My Promised Neverland. So the fact that My Promised Neverland is still a 10, even though it was going up against the stiffest and most hardcore competition you could ever have, means it's an incredible show. And I will never, ever change my mind on that. And of course, this is coming from a guy who did not read the manga. To me, delivered as an adaptation from the emotion standpoint, from the reveals to the characters, and of course the how it came together. Right, it felt like a finale. Anyway, that's enough praise. Like I said, I will go into spoilers, but of course, if you want hate, if you want this problems with it, no, that won't be me. I'll tell you. We'll go into the world building, what I feel is interesting. But yeah, they're going places, and it's saying something in the same way Attack on Titan is going for something. And it is a firm, and I mean firm, top 4 anime. So we're talking Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, and Promised Neverland. This is without doubt, okay, in my opinion. People now hate Promised Neverland, but that was always in the top at least 5. Now, that's the thing, this competition is endless. Every time there's going to be a new show, like it was Promised Neverland. It came in, Demon Slayer came in, but it was always between Attack on Titan and My Hero. And yes, of course, you can add whatever you want. It's subjective. Anybody can add their anime. But this you could feel. You could feel it in the air. You could feel it as a consensus that this is the top 4. And not anymore, right, in terms of Promised Neverland, but to me it is. Now the question is, where does it stand? Because My Hero is starting now, like literally starting today, I believe, and the Demon Slayer movie is coming out later in a few months. So those will determine where it stands. But as of now, it is at a tight 4th place in all of anime. Right? Again, that's me. It was before, by the way. Now it is subjective, and now people will, bash on it. But I'm here to tell you that to me, it's number 4, and it's there to stay. So yeah, that's it. It's very important to me to share the love, because again, you have to balance it out. The hate is so strong that you need people like me that feed off emotion, that feed off storytelling, that also judges it equally in comparison to Attack on Titan and other stuff like Steven Universe, and see that the beauty of its storytelling and of its emotion outweighs the storytelling problems in terms of adaptation and in terms of what you expect or want. I am that voice, and I'm here to tell you, Promised Neverland, fantastic. Apologies if I got passionate. Again, I finished it 20 minutes ago. Dear Lord. And right after I finished it, I had to watch something funny because it is extremely, it's not sad, but it takes a lot out of you. So luckily, this is one of my favorite. News Be Funny, once a month. Gigantic news fails. Genius stuff. And I haven't, like, it's a full 20 minutes. I only watched the first 2 minutes, but I have a good one here. I'm going to share it with you, and I love it. Here we go.
To you in a couple minutes.
Welcome back, everyone. Day after day, people keep making their way to the U.S.-Mexico border.
Yeah, the latest numbers from the U.S. Border Patrol, more than 60,000 single adults, more than 32,000 families.
The first time I was like, okay, whatever, right? But then I thought about it, and it's like, okay, it's not about the cat distracting the webcam or whatever. It's how serious the story is. I love it when you got a hardcore serious story mixed with something incredibly ridiculous.
Oh, hey, Sarah, we'll come back to you in a couple minutes.
She's like, oh my God, the refugees.
Welcome back, everyone. Day after day, people keep making their way to the U.S.-Mexico border.
There's so many.
Yeah, the latest numbers from the U.S. Border Patrol.
So many
more
refugees.
Than 60,000 single adults, more than
60,000
families.
We introduce you to the next aspiring and deserving
finalist. Going at it,
numbers from the U.S. Border Patrol.
He's taking everything away.
Welcome back, everyone.
From the refugees.
Day after day, people keep making their way to the U.S.-Mexico border.
Yeah, the latest numbers from the U.S. Border Patrol, more than 60,000 single adults, more than 30.
Outshone 60,000. Okay, that's it for me. So yeah, Dauntless today, Yakuza 6 today, tomorrow, big time, the Red Turtle, very exciting, as well as something else. Anyway, I'm all in on Attack on Titan, so that will be very soon. And of course, I will do a deep dive on Promised Neverland as well in the coming days. So as always, love you guys. See you next time. Dude, Godzilla vs. King Kong this Wednesday.